Hey guys, what's up? It's NihonTiger and welcome back to CarnisTerra. I am doing a little bit of exploring in a new area and we have some news to talk about. We have some news about the server to discuss. First and foremost. And first things first, take a look at all the people that are on here. Got Zombie and Olmok, Munch Mode, Zuria and Turtle, and look at all those happy faces. That makes me so happy to see so many people on here again. Yeah, and I think a big reason for that is that we, as the server, have taken a look at some things that have been going on lately as far as within other communities, and we've decided that we are changing the world border from being a slowly expanding I almost had to burp there, but a slowly expanding world border to kind of I guess you could say a static world border at 5,000 by 5,000. And oh, there's some sheep there. Sheep ran into the cactus. You know, I might as well grab it because I'm kind of hungry. Some cactus farm sheep. This is a little bit laggy. The server is being a little laggy, I think because we have so many people on, and it does that from time to time. Or it could also be just because there's people out exploring new chunks because the world border has been moved out. And the reason for that, probably if you've been paying attention to some of the Minecraft drama, we originally based our idea of having the world border off of their plans to have a world border. And they continue to have their world border intact, but they've been having a lot of issues with people who really don't want to play anymore because the border is moving so slow that they can't really do anything. And I guess there's some frustrations that have started to bubble to the surface about that, and people have said, "Well, I'm not gonna play anymore, or I'm gonna focus on my single player world." And if I do, by the way, I should mention, if I do kind of go to that screen every once in a while, just the pause screen, it's because I'm looking at the map we have of the seed. I'm trying to find a spot for my big build. Now, I was originally going to wait until the wall had moved out this far, and by this far I mean about 1,000 blocks away. It was only at about, I think, 400 blocks last time I checked. But I was waiting for things to move out because I need to have a large desert, in order to do my build. Because I need a lot of sand and sandstone and various sandstone-based items to do this. It's a build I'm very excited to be building. I cannot wait to get started on it. I'll probably start next time, I think. So right now I'm in the process of just exploring, and once I find a spot, moving some of my stuff around a little bit here. That's why I have all these carrots so I can go run and explore. Now this is the first large desert area that I found on the map. It's fairly large. The only thing I'm not sure if I like is that it's so far away from everyone else that, even though it does have the ocean access here, and I really like having the ocean access, don't know if I kind of like maybe this spot right here. This might be a good spot to build, actually. Right here. This is probably about 22,000 blocks away in a straight line from a spawn area. But this could be a good spot. This could be a really good spot, actually. This area right here might be perfect for it. But the only thing is, there's a second spot I want to go poke around and take a look at. It's a little bit closer, but it might be a smaller area. So let's just keep this in mind. It's negative 620 and negative 1450, roughly. This is where spot number 1 is. And we're gonna go take a look at the other desert. This is a very wonky and weird desert. It kind of snakes its way through a savanna biome. And it splits apart a little bit, but it's not a big split. So I could definitely stand to have the savanna biome next door to the desert. I think that's fitting. But yeah, I also wanted to, in addition to mentioning the world border change, I wanted to mention, well, first I wanted to mention, I don't know if I have it for this episode, but I have an intro all planned out and kind of going with the theme of my big build this time. It's something old that's being repurposed. It's an old intro that I've basically done some tweaking on. Those of you who've watched one of my old series in particular will instantly recognize which intro that I borrowed for the CarnisTerra intro. It's gonna be very familiar to some of you, and that does mean I will need to, if I do another series like that in the future, I'll need to change the intro, find a new song and everything. But yeah, here's all the villagers. A lot of priests. That's excellent. I've already gone through and blocked up some of the homes just to trap some of the villagers inside. I probably just want to stay out of this chunk in particular. Try to avoid going through there so that zombies don't spawn and kill them all before I can actually safely corral all of them into houses. I'm a little bit worried about that, so I am gonna need to keep an eye on my travels. So I should also mention that I don't know what we're gonna do about a house. We might build a spawn house. I still have that spot all planned out, but I really haven't had the time to think about, what kind of house I want to build. It probably would just be a small house. Like I've seen some of the other people's spawn houses. They do kind of smaller builds, like just a regular house with a couple rooms. And I feel like that would be kind of the same thing that I would want to do. So we have plains biome here, which means we're pretty close to where this turns, and that's a giant pillar. That's Zuria's doing. She is out here corralling horses. You can see, I should point this out. She has all the horses forever. Oh, one of them's escaped. Zuria, one of your horses has escaped, and he's slowly getting away. Slow motion chase, but I thought we would also take the opportunity here, since we're having a little bit of time to talk about changes and talk about things that happened. I would also like to talk about the UHC that we just did for the old VintageBeef Fan Server Season 5 UHC. Oh, looks like it's a bridge of some sort, or maybe she's just kind of putting dirt over it and flattening everything out. That could be a case. I kind of wonder what she's building. Maybe she's building like stables. I think that would make sense with all the horses. Need to eat. People are yelling at me to eat. There's a hole there. I don't want to go in the hole. Okay, that's not a deep hole. That's fine. But I thought we would talk a little bit about the UHC, Season 5 UHC that we just had. So for those of you that didn't get to watch it, you should go watch it. It's very fun. It was very enjoyable. And it was a teams of 2 season with the moving world border in 1.8. Had eternal daylight and had split spawns, which basically means that we had, when we were scattered, we weren't scattered with our teammate. We had to go meet up with them. So I was teamed with Fallen, and by the way, it's Fallen's birthday today, so happy birthday, Fallen. And we had, between the two of us, we probably had a lot of experience. We still might have been the most experienced team just because of the amount of experience I have. There's another village over here. What the heck? There's like desert villages all over the place. Oh, man. I can't run anywhere without possibly killing off like every single villager. This one seems smaller, though. This is a lot smaller. It's just spider. Did you kill a spider? Did you guys kill a spider? Oh, somebody's already been here. Okay. Someone's already been here and blocked these all up. Okay. So, yeah, somebody's already done the dirty deed of blocking this up. So I think this one's going to be no-go. I just want to take a look at this desert real quick while I talk. So, let me eat a little bit. God, hunger is terrible. And speaking of hunger, good segue. The first time that they tried to record, I wasn't there. And they had issues with, I think, hunger and a bunch of other stuff in 1.8. There's a lot of issues with 1.8 UHCs. So they had some unfortunate issues that kept them from being able to actually record the UHC. And because they had to reschedule it, we only had 8 people. And they only would have had 7 people if I hadn't been able to make it. But I was able to make it that time, and I decided, I'll play. Why not? I kind of want to win one of these things anyways. I hadn't won a fan server UHC up to that point. I had a very inglorious season 3 and season 4. So I thought maybe it'd be nice to actually win one, get a kill or something like that for once, so people can stop making fun of me, because I rarely get kills in UHCs. It's just my style doesn't match up well with going out and killing a bunch of people all at once. But this is a fairly large desert. I'm kind of thinking I might like the other spot I looked at better, because it's a little more, I guess. It's our 1500. I like the mountain over here, but at the same time, I kind of like the isolation, or the fact that it looks a little more deserty at the other place. Plus, it has, oh no, Olmoc's left. No! It's a little flatter too. But, this is a volcano, maybe. Volcano. No, it's not a volcano. This is cool. We should definitely keep this in mind, this area. I like the mountains, but I don't think I want to build near. Okay, Zarya. Okay, I know why, but it's a weird thing to see in chat. Yeah, we do have a gold farm. I think, who set the gold farm? Squid has set the gold farm up. That's right, I mentioned that last time. Haven't been there finished yet. I think it's been finished. I think it has been. Cool. I might have to go peek around at that in a little bit here. But let's wander back to our spot. We'll claim the other spot. I think that's going to be a better fit. Tick lag, yeah, it's definitely a lot of tick lag. But since we had split spawns, I was spawned far enough away from Fallen that I couldn't get to him right away, and we had to we couldn't talk until we actually met up, and that was one of the rules as well. We couldn't, you had to do basically free for all style commentary until you actually met up with your partner, and then you could get in a call with them. That's fairly standard rules for that kind of UHC. And I actually started out with a very interesting spawn area. There was a giant ravine that I spawned not too far from that had a bunch of iron in it, so I was kind of able to get to full iron relatively quickly. And in addition, I turned the corner a little bit and I saw this big cave, and I'm like, this is weird. And I took a slight peek inside, and I saw mossy cobblestone, and that of course means that there's a spawner in there. And I went inside to poke around, I found a spawner, I'm like, oh, okay, that's cool. and then I heard more spider sounds, because the first one was a spider spawner, and I heard spider sounds, and I'm like, that's not a spider, it's spawning from here. So I took a little look to my left, and lo and behold, there is another spider spawner. It's a double spider spawner right at like episode 2 of my UHC playthrough, which is like about 30 minutes in, and that was a bizarre but definitely welcome find, because I was able to get bows once I stopped panicking about the spiders being there and blocked them up safely, and got inside and got the chests, got the iron and materials out of the chests that were necessary. But I think that was a good find, and that's a desert temple. Ooh, me likey a lot. Let's go poke around inside of it. Why not? It's our desert temple now. I also don't particularly think I'm gonna destroy this temple, even if I can get inside and get the resources out of it, because I kind of want to have a nice desert theme. Having this temple here would actually be really good. That'd be awesome if I could have a desert temple. So there we go. This is definitely untouched. So how far is this from my... Okay, it's about 500 blocks away. We can come back here. Let's go ahead and let's get back to where we were so we can pop down the signs. Claim our territory. There's a witch over there. I hate witches. Witches are stupid. But yeah, this could work too. Maybe if I kind of went more this way. So let's see. How's this? This is possibly fine too. This area. So it's a little bit further back. It's a fairly large desert, so we have a lot of options. But the double spawner was a nice find because it allowed me to get multiple bows, which I would later be able to, enchant and combine if I was able to find materials for that. That's always very good to start off with, is to have a lot of materials you need to make weapons. But ended up having 2 people die in the first episode. Somebody, I think Caleb and Drew were fighting, which is kind of weird because you don't see many episode 1 fights. So Drew didn't have any footage from this season because he died right off the bat. Okay, it's actually not too far away. I might be able just to build it over here. And I think Drew's brother, who was playing with us, ended up suffocating in the wall and getting killed. That's always not fun. This might be a good spot. I think this will be it. This is kind of the area that we were looking at before. So there's a witch. Stupid witch. Hate them. But this might be a good spot. I think this will be kind of the spot we're looking for our build. So let us kind of dig down. No, we don't need to dig down, do we? Let's put a sign up here that says Nihon's Desert Area. Building something cool soon. Smiley face. There we go. Alright. I don't have any space for a piece of sand. Now I do. Alright, so let me go ahead and make crafting table. There we go. We can make some chests. Chesty chest. Boop. And put this crap in chests, and then we can go back and get the other stuff later, I guess. Out of my temporary hidey hole of whimsy. Oh, I should actually make some shears. That's right. That's what I wanted to do. Make some shears so I can actually get a bed together. It'd be great. We can use these planks for the bed. And there are some sheep over here. But I ended up meeting up with Fallen relatively early, and he actually spawned pretty close to spawn 0-0. So we kind of went back. I kind of decided to, hey, go meet up with him, and he was closer to the middle of the map. So it was in my interest to go and find him first to get away from the wall as it was closing in. And so I think we met up in the mountains and ended up going back to where he was, which is like within where the wall would stop. So that's kind of cool that he was already there. So we didn't have to worry about the wall for pretty much the rest of the... Holy crap, that's a lot of chickens. But we didn't have to worry about the wall for pretty much the rest of the time that we were on the map. And we went down, went into a ravine and a bunch of caves, and I didn't take damage for a very long time because that's what I do. So, long story short, we found diamonds, we made enchants, we got all enchanted up, and then we decided, okay, let's go to the surface. It's like getting close to you know, the time when the wall is going to start to close in, bring everybody together. So let's go to the surface, let's go find players, and let's go hunt them down. And we did that for a little bit. We found a very, very cool part of the sea. It's like a valley in between a whole bunch of mountains. And it's got very, very narrow passages. You could really build a very cool kind of fortress with the walls on top of the mountains, and like a huge city inside of it, and then these very narrow paths would be kind of like your gates. Like we were talking about it, and it was very inspirational. I feel like if I had, you know, the time to do it, I probably would have sat there and started building it in the middle of the UHC. Alright, cool. See you, Munchmo. Oh, okay. Yeah, he's already left. Damn it. I wanted to say bye, but that stupid zombie. So we went wandering about, and it was kind of looking like we were going to end up having to wait for other teams to show up and just kind of sitting around, be like, oh, let's make our own fun. But the game provided fun for us in the form of a thunderstorm, and us nearly getting hit by lightning a couple times before we had to dig down, and Fallen built a little underground shack in our free time while we were waiting. I was kind of being really antsy, be like, all right, I want to kill, which is fairly atypical for me. People who know how I play know that I tend to kind of shun unnecessary combat when I don't need to. You know, I don't tend to pick fights when I don't need to pick a fight. But I was kind of at that time, I was very much ready to pick a fight. I was ready to go. I'm like, all right, I got my chance, I got my bows. You know, I know I can kill these people. Let's go do it. So I ended up having to wait out the storm, and that took forever because it didn't want to stop storming. I think we ended up running outside as it stopped raining and made it to 0-0. And by this time, Daughter had killed herself on a creeper, so there was only 5 of us left. It was not true. Caleb and Snow were on the team, Fallen and myself, and then Matt, who had managed to kind of survive all the way to the end. And apparently, I went back and watched his videos. Matt apparently found where we were while we were hiding, We found where we were originally. You know, the original trap that Fallen had built. He built one of those door traps, the old Etho traps, and apparently Matt had found that and was investigating it. And I don't know if he found our actual. I don't think he found our cave that we were in for episodes 3 and 4. But we kind of got all together, and we found Matt trying to pillar up somehow and killed him, or rather Fallen killed him because I missed my shot, which is a bummer. I really wanted that shot. He was pillared really high up, and I thought, okay, I can get him. I get the shot, and it'll be cool video. And then Fallen killed him, and I was like, oh, dang it! It beat me to the punch. But that kind of meant that it was down to Caleb and Snow versus myself and Fallen. And I know Caleb and Snow are pretty good shots, so I was a little bit wary of, getting into a bow fight with them. Just because I thought, okay, if we get into a bow fight with them and we lose, we're going to be down on health. I want to make sure that we're in good position. And I still, to this point, hadn't taken any damage whatsoever. This was like almost 6 episodes in. This is oh, go away. No, don't do that. This was still, pretty typically 6 episodes in, and Nihon hasn't taken any damage kind of deal. It's fairly simple and basic for what I like to do, but we ended up playing cat and mouse with Caleb and Snow for quite some time. They ran back into the woods when we spotted them, and then they ran across the river, and they were trying to get us to come over there, and Fallen was like, oh, let's go over there and kill them. I'm like, no, they want us to go over there, because as soon as we go over there, they're going to start opening fire on us, and it's going to be bad news bears. So we kind of said, I kind of said to him, you know what, we're the ones who are in control. We have more health than them. We have the high ground, so to speak. So let's wait it out, and let's make them come over to us. We don't have to go anywhere. And that really plays into the whole strategy thing. You really need to think when you're UHC. You don't just see a player and just engage right away, unless you've got a real good situation where they don't even see you. But if you see a player and a player sees you, you don't just run over and engage them, unless you know situationally that you are in such a better position that you can just kill them in 1 or 2 shots. Because if you're taking a risk, you're always taking a risk. But if you're taking the risk of charging somebody and that somebody turns out to have, oh hi, you have sand. I would like that. If that somebody turns out to have better gear than you, and you've made the fatal mistake of charging them, there is nothing that can save you except their own derping about if they somehow kill themselves. That's the only way that you're gonna possibly come out of that fight ahead. Or if they're really bad at PvP skills. But I knew that Caleb's a good shot. I know Snow's a good shot, or a good enough shot that you don't just mess around and say like, okay, I can take these guys right now, and they're never going to be a threat to me. Because I always treat players, everybody's a threat in UHC. Everybody can kill you. Everybody and everything can kill you. You just have to really be careful and be good at managing the game and figure out, when's a good time to strike, when's a good time to run, when's a good time to make your move. And I guess maybe that's a little bit different than many of my friends who were much more into the PvP aspect and much more into just, kills and killing people as much as they can and getting lots of kills, and that's how they consider themselves to be successful. But I do not. I consider wins and losses as my success barometer. That's just a difference of opinion. There's no real wrong or right answer to that. So before anyone thinks I'm ragging on somebody, I'm not ragging on anybody in particular. just a difference of opinion. Okay, there we go. And skeletons are shooting at me. Now catch on fire, please. But we had to kind of wait. You know, we waited them out, and I figured at this point we'd been waiting long enough for a fight, so it made sense to kind of wait them out and just be like, all right, we'll wait them out, so we'll make them come across the river to us, and then once we can see them again, we'll engage them. Well, they decided that they were going to go up on top of a mountain and take the higher ground and start firing down on us, and they missed us a lot, which was good, because that meant that their... Oh, hi, come here. That meant that their arrows were going to waste, and we were in a position where we could capitalize on that by possibly stealing their arrows and taking... Oh, I lost the gunpowder. Come on, guys. Stupid tick lag. Stop exploring! But yeah, we were kind of in a position where we could capitalize on that. And then suddenly we really weren't, because they were up on the hill and they were firing down at us. And we're just sitting there like, okay, what do we do now? And I think what we ended up deciding to do was fall and went up the mountain to fight Caleb, and I ended up trying to hold Snow off with suppressive bow fire. And that kind of worked. It kind of worked a little bit. It didn't really work too great, because what happened was Fallen did get a hold of Caleb and killed him, but Snow was up there and he was able to kind of get around with some of my bow fire at the time and then kill Fallen. So it came down to Snow and myself. And at that point, I think my thought was, okay, I need to get Snow into melee range, because I took a look at his health. He had 4 hearts left, and I still had full health, I think, at that point. But I knew that unless he had like some kind of sharpness 4 diamond sword, he wouldn't be able to kill me and punch through my armor quickly enough before I took him down. So that's exactly what I did. I waited him out, and I kind of tried to see if I could see him, and eventually he made a mistake. He unshifted. He was shifting, I think, to get me, and he ended up unshifting at one point, and I could see his name tag, and I'm like, okay, he's right there. So I was able to get over to him and grab him into a melee range fight, and we hit each other twice. He had less health. I took off his 4 hearts before he took off enough of my health, and that's how I won. So it's pretty good. It's pretty cut and dry. There wasn't really a whole lot of super crazy excitement, but it was a fun UHC, and it means that every single recorded round that I've done now, I've won at least once. So that's pretty good. That's pretty good. I like to hang that hat on my shelf. So I've got at least, what now, 4 wins in 4 different recorded rounds. Maybe 5. I don't know. I'll have to keep track. You know, I'll lose track of how many recorded rounds I'm actually in, and some of them, of course, aren't as big as WMC. So the WMC stuff, performances that I do tend to be a little bit more of a bigger deal for me, because it's tougher competition too. You know, those guys are just really good at what they do, and a lot of them are very skilled players with hours and hours and hours and hours of experience who've been playing the game for as long as I have. So I always tend to value how I do in those a little bit more than maybe some of the other UHCs, but it's still nice to win. I'll tell you that much. It's very nice to win. Always like winning. Makes me feel good about myself and my skills. But yeah, that was really kind of a long and windy and rambly little talk about Season 5, and obviously we're not the VBFS anymore, so we're going to have to come up with a new name and probably start over from season 1, I would guess, if we do another UHC, which I would like to do. I don't know when we'll do one. I think we'll have to take a little bit of a break in between seasons, but I'm definitely down for doing another one with these guys. They're great competitors to play against. So I also have a name, possibly. I kind of like playing off the name of the server. I kind of like Carnage and Terror as the name of a recorded round that we would do all together for the UHC. I don't know. Maybe you guys could weigh in on it. Give me your thoughts. You know, what do you think about that name? Because it kind of also accurately describes what UHC can be. So a lot of carnage and there's a lot of terror. Usually for other people, not so much for me. But yeah, we've got our land all picked out here. We're digging up sand, and I think I'm going to stop it here. I think I've talked about everything I wanted to talk about. I think I've got everything done so far. So got our desert area all picked out. I think we're also going to build toward the south. So when you take a look at it on the overview map that we might have eventually, you'll actually be able to see what it is without, you know, it being like the back side of it or something. So I don't know. We'll think about it. We might even do it maybe do it facing east, so that way you can see it coming from the east, and so that you can. No, wait. How did I want to do that? I don't know. Did I want to have it I think I wanted to have it facing east because the sun also sets in that direction. I wanted to have the sun kind of rise up and over. I don't know. I have to figure this all out. So I'm going to take some time to figure it out and see how many blocks I'm going to need of sandstone to start this project. But it's going to be awesome, guys. It's going to be an awesome project when I start. Plus, we need to go back and grab our stuff. So we'll do that next time on the CarnisTerra server. So thank you again for watching. And as always, good luck, good mining, have fun. It's my sign off from another series, but I don't care. I'm going to use it for everything. So see you guys next time. Ooh, 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 ooh. Ooh, that's a thing. That's a thing. I think that's I was about to sign off, but I'm pretty sure it's an ocean monument too. Yeah, we're definitely building here. Oh yeah, there definitely be guardians down there. They're killing all the squidlies. You can hear them. But yeah, excitement. This is a good spot. We got a temple and got an ocean monument. We got all the things forever. I love this place. This is it. This is definitely it. See you guys next time.